Hello, everybody. Welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I also publish on Rumble and on Patreon for X support. Any kind of updates I usually go about on Twitter X. I did publish yesterday Planet of Lana episode. Tomorrow will be another one. Again, when it's on sale, these kind of games that I really did enjoy, I will mention them on the gaming deal section of the program. Other than that, not much happening in terms of updates. Everything seems to chug along as best as I can. So let's go to the news. Similarly, we encountered in the wild a reference design of the unreleased RX 9070 XT in the black market in China, supposedly. But the user didn't do a very good job of hiding like the serial numbers and all that jazz because it got the barcode there can be easily checked regarding that. But yeah, seems to be this design here that we saw some renders where AMD just said it was just a artistic rendering of the GPU if it were out. But again, I will assume, as always, there's going to be always some engineering samples until they take the decision of mass producing or not. So again, it seems that way. Then again, this is a sealed anti-static bag. We cannot take a proper look on those photographs, so we have to take in account that it is what the person said it is. Again, even though it says here it's a 97 XT, again, got the serial number, but we got the barcodes there that can be confirmed or not. Again, this, I don't know. Again, it would be easier, at least for consumer side of things, if AMD went for a reference design, mainly because that reference design will always hook the MSRP on other AIB partners GPUs models to pressure them to maintain an MSRP. But then again, as we speculated, and it's probably the most certain thing that happened after the NVIDIA CES announcements of the GPU prices, especially on the 5070 Ti and the 5070, AMD probably was not expecting that lower of a price. I think they were expecting going about on the 800 probably, or between $750 for the XT variant and the non-XT variant to be a little bit more on the sides of a 4070 Ti, 5070 non-Ti. And yeah, because at this moment, if AMD wants to gain some market share on the GPU side of things, they really need to deliver the same kind of performance and around about 20% price cut from the competition, which is at this moment, of course, NVIDIA. Even though, again, their technology, even FSR4, it's pretty good. It seems the GPUs perform very well, but yeah, to gain market share, they really needed to be aggressive, as basically they are. It's just a matter of if they can maintain that MSRP. But again, it's controlled not through their own reference design, which is usually a good tool to maintain a certain price. But yeah, I think after this first couple, at least couple of batches of this RDNA for GPUs, we will start to see the MSRP maybe creeping up. Because again, they will try to take advantage of the fact that the 5070 Ti doesn't have any stock on it, so they will try to gain as much money, make as much money as possible. They can, but yeah, it's interesting to see that they were thinking about it. But yeah, again, this is not even, I don't think it's worth a buy here. It's just a curiosity here. Supposedly the person is trying to sell this around $800, which is not a very good price, because supposedly if it is really a reference design, it will have like the stock settings and specs will not have any OC features for sure. So that's that. And selling over for the same price that super duper edition of an AIB will sell. But yeah, it's interesting to see. Again, just a reminder, 9070 XT is the GPU to buy if you want to buy an RDNA 4. But always pay attention to the price. Again, my recommendation, if you find it MSRP, it's a good buy, especially comparatively what you have in the market, unless you can get a previous generation GPU at a good price. Again, for AMD, I think the best one it's RDNA 4, mainly because of the FSR 4 uplift in terms of image quality and how it handles, even though it's, again, the adoption of that technology is not widespread yet. But it has the potentiality of being an excellent GPU. But we'll have to wait and see. Only time will tell how this will end. But yeah, interesting curiosity on the reference card here from AMD. On the Intel side, we got a new CEO, Mr. Lip Bu Tan. Yeah, seemingly this seems to be good news. Apparently, the shares went up a little bit there, and yeah. He managed in the first message to the employees of Intel. He stresses that while it will not be easy for him to turn the firm around, he believes that he has all the tools necessary to succeed. Hopefully so. And of course, the first message to the team was rife with humility. Yeah, you have to humble yourself when you're on the downturn and try to see the errors that you made in certain decisions. And again, to a certain extent, pride can be a blinding spot there. But yeah, he's starting off by stating that the challenges motivate him to solve problems. Again, it seems that at this moment they will not separate the foundry business with the chip designing business there, because even though it doesn't make sense if they separated that, but I think again. The foundry business was kind of an offshoot of Intel, so it's something that they wanted to design and manufacture their own chips. I think it's if a company can make it, even though it's very expensive to manufacture chips, I think it's the best solution or the optimal solution there, because everything can be kept in house, and to a certain degree in the long term plans you can reduce in terms of expenses because everything is in house. You don't have to be dependent of third party pricing up certain things on the foundry level, like for example TSMC or something like that. But yeah, yeah, they have a truly unique opportunity to remake their own company, and one of the most probably pivotal moments in their history. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. People seem to be hopeful. But yeah, and supposedly he wants to, and I think it's one of the main focus they have to have. It's being an engineering focused company. I think that's the way to go, instead of diluting themselves in other stuff. Again, Intel, by designing and manufacturing chips, can be a powerhouse again, and I really hope they do turn around and start building great chips, at least to make to have some competition with AMD on the CPU side of things, at least for now, and on the GPU side of things, always good to have the more companies can produce the GPU chips. It's better than nothing. Hopefully they can turn around, and again, the more competition the market has, the better. Because usually the trend is to get consumers can get better prices and better products at the same time. But yeah, it's good to see. Hopefully, again, this I think the reflection will take at least a couple of years, more or less, because they still have stuff that was on the back burner that will eventually launch. Probably some fumbles between now and around a couple of or even 5 years from now, because changing the directions of a huge chip like Intel, it will take its time. But hopefully we will see things going in the right path, and they can turn around and start doing some pretty decent, awesome things here. We get on the AMD side thing, we get another supposedly, again, another 9800X3D supposedly dying after enable EXPO. Interesting enough, the fact that the user was using this CPU without enabling Expo, it's interesting to me. It's one of the things that I the first time I installed my CPU and the memory, it was to go on the BIOS and activate the EXPO and tight the timings the best I can with the EXPO profiles and the such, and tweaking around with that. But it seems that I don't know if it is the 800 series motherboards, because we're seeing some issues with ASRock's 800 series motherboards regarding failing CPUs, specifically I think 9800X3D. Even though then again the 9800X3D doesn't seem to be that sensitive regarding memory timings. That's why I think it didn't turn the Expo on. At least that's my consideration there. But yeah, it's interesting to see this time is a MSI. I think this EX8070E Tomahawk Wi-Fi, it's kind of middle upper range of the segment that they have there. But yeah, supposedly it's not user error. The CPU was working for a while before he decided to turn Expo on, and afterwards he couldn't reboot the computer. Again, you got a bulge here on the CPU here. This part in the middle. Yeah, it's weird that we've been seeing here and there. But then again, in the age of internet, again, they're not excusing anything. But I think because we are on the age of internet, and as more savvy people use PCs, and we have platforms from Reddit to Twitter, and everything in between. We got the reporting of malfunctions and failures is more easy to spot on than before. There's going to always have, unfortunately, there's always going to have some percentage of failures on the products themselves. But now with this day and age, we have I don't know, more visibility on the reporting of these failures. Usually before, you just return the product and all that jazz, and usually people didn't know and had to trust on the company numbers. But yeah, we might see something like this, given that the 9800X3D has been selling very well. So there are supposedly a lot of units, and even if like 0.5% of 9800X3D will die eventually by enable Expo or something like that, or have any kind of type of failures, the more units you have, again, the more, even if it is only 0.5%, more units will eventually fail and people will do this post again. I'm not exactly sure how this happened. Again, supposedly it's like a spike current. I didn't see on the article here very much mention if he did like BIOS update before doing the activating the Expo timing, because sometimes those profiles and the such are kind of tweaked around between BIOS updates each time they update the BIOS. But then again, we need to have a little bit more step by step feature, not feature, sorry, a little bit more of the step by step of things, how they happened, with more detailed data from example, the BIOS that he was using before, what he did until this thing triggered out. Maybe Gamers Nexus can speak with him and try to get to the bottom of stuff and investigating a little bit more. Even though the motherboard didn't get affected, because afterwards he stuck 8500G and the motherboard booted. Again, it might be something regarding current spikes or something like that when you activate Expo. I'm not sure if the Asus ROG motherboards stuff there did have to do anything with this related by any means, but again, more information is needed. On the gaming side of stuff, interesting thing here, we got World 2 was announced here yesterday. Basically, it's going to build up on the first one in terms of core mechanics, while introducing some expanded features, again, improved progression systems and deeper narrative. The narrative itself is pretty decent. It leaves a little bit to the imagination of certain things. Supposedly, the sequel will introduce more ways to engage with the world, including new monster types, both on the surface of the wall and inside the mines, which is an area that we didn't explore, at least with the spider. We got the mining mechanic with a little main character, but exploring with the spider, like the huge things here, we didn't have that, which is going to be interesting. You got a trailer here of announcement. It will launch this year. No definitive launch date, but yeah, I'm interested in this one. I played the first one. I always recommend it, even if it isn't on a sale. Plus the DLC that he did with excellent content, it expands a little bit more on the story and in certain mechanics on how you fight and upgrades and all that jazz adds a little bit more of everything. I really did enjoy this game, and I do recommend it. And then we got finally the first Berserker Khazan goes gold. So officially, the code and everything is ready to ship. Let's hopefully that it performs well on PC at least in terms of the specs and the such. But yeah, it's going to launch March 27th, so by the end of this month. Yeah, I will again. I've been keeping my eyes on this one. It might be a good one, and I still need to play the demo to see how it feels in terms of how it plays there. But yeah, in terms of news, is what I got for today. We got some gaming deals. We got Resident Evil franchise is all on sale. I will leave the links of all Resident Evil's games so you can pick and choose and complete your collection. We got Sekiro Shadows Die Twice still on sale, 50% off. We got Okami HD, new one, 50% off also. I need to try this one. I'm very curious about this game here. Then you got Dragon's Dogma 2, a lot of Capcom spring sale here. As you can see, everything is part of that. Again, mixed results in terms of Dragon's Dogma 2. Again, I'm willing to try this game one of these days, but at this moment is 43% off on the base edition there. Then you got Kunitsugami, Path of the Goddess. I have the demo installed. I still need to check this game out. Seems a very interesting one on Japanese folklore. And it's 20% off, and it's also in a bundle with Okami HD, 25% off. Maybe it's worth it. But yeah, I need to check this game, the demo at least, to see how it goes. Then we got the Tomb Raider Definitive Survivor Trilogy Edition. It's still on sale. Again, all free games of the trilogy plus the definitive edition or GOT edition with everything included there. It's around, I think, between 10 to 12 bucks. And I do recommend this trilogy. Seems a pretty good one. And then again, finally, we got Wall World. Again, it's not on sale, but it's very cheap. We got around $7 or so, plus the deep thread. I really do recommend. It's not, again, it's like €3 or something like that, same as dollars. Yeah, very interesting game. If you like kind of roguelike with some tweaks on tower defense, mining, and all the roguelike stuff that you usually see. Again, I do recommend this game. It's very interesting, and I really did enjoy this game. But yeah, with all that said, I'm going to wrap up here for today with the plug on my Patreon for extra support. The extra support is more in line for me to try and get a better storage solution so I can have backups of the stuff that I do for my clients. And of course, some extra storage for the videos that I make for the channel. With all that said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. So until then, Kunamy Master out.